Okay, hello, welcome to this video. I'm now in frame. Sorry, I know like my table is probably blocking a lot of me, but welcome. This is the state of a painting that I've been working on since December. If you've been watching my vlogs, any of the recent ones, honestly, I have been slowly making progress working on this, picking away at it. My friend who I'm making this for has been patiently waiting for it to be finished. And yeah, I'm kind of fed up. I'm kind of fucking over it. I want this done. I want it completed. And I told myself that I would finish this by the end of the month. And so today is July 19th, I believe. So like I still have 10 days or whatever to finish it up. But I thought, and I have really been craving lately, a day or a weekend just working on something traditional, etching away at something. I've been doing a lot of digital work lately, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to work on this, itch my traditional painting itch that I've been feeling, as well as get it fucking done. So that's this video. Welcome. Not much else to say here. You guys know how it goes. I'm just gonna get into it and start painting. So, wish me luck. Hopefully we can finish this bitch. Finally.
As well as tackling topics such as the Folgers identify with. They also write critical essays on culture and philosophy.
I tend to work like better with them, like making those little things. Or in the past, maybe I haven't worked great with them.
Okay. So I guess the way that I'm gonna format this video is I'm gonna get to a point in my painting that I feel good about, or that I want to take a little pause with, or the paint needs to dry before I can move on and talk a little bit. And then just splice that in with progress of me getting to this point. So there you go. That's how this video is going to work. I hope you guys enjoy knowing that. And I put the camera far away because I think I want to take advantage of this guy, my DJI Mic 2, and I think it's kind of funny to have the frame be framed so far away when I'm like talking intimately like this. Yeah, so I kind of just got to a place on the painting where I filled in all of the fishes that needed to be filled in, just kind of lightly. That's basically the process of what I've been doing with these, with each of the fish. I go in pretty lightly with watered down ink or whatever, just to lay down a roadmap of like what the gradation is going to look like, lay down like a base kind of, and then I go in again once this has dried a little bit with a little bit less of a loaded brush, and then just kind of hatch in or like fill in a little darker and build that gradation that exists on the rest of the fish. But yeah, as I'm doing this, I'm watching a podcast. Who is the podcaster? I'm watching a podcast that has been popping up on my YouTube recommended for a while because I've talked about this before. CJ the X is one of my favorite video essayists. I think they are incredibly insightful and smart and entertaining. So the podcast is Creative Culture Podcast with CJ the X. And so I've been meaning to watch it for a while, so I just put it on as I'm doing this because we love a cozy video podcast vibe. And the things that they're talking about in this podcast. It's called Can Art Be Subjectively Bad with CJ the X. They're talking about how social media and a lot of the ways that we present art in this day and age has become very like it's all very like video based now, specifically with like short form content, where it's not just you can like post the finished art anymore. You have to take a video of it, so you're encouraged to show your process and how that could be, you know, taking away from your own experience. You know, it used to be you could go away and ruminate on a piece of art, work on it, you know, have your ups and downs, have your self-doubt, have your struggles, your anxieties, your wins, your losses in creating a piece of art. And then once it's finished, you put it out into the world and it is what it is, you know? But the process of getting there is yours. And so them talking about that as I'm literally like working on a piece of art, a camera looming over my shoulder, I'm like, oh, oh, that's me. And so it's making me think, you know, what is the balance? And like, that's not to say like they talk about a bunch of points. It's not like showing process of art equals bad inherently. There's like, obviously there's beautiful ways to show process, and like video making itself is an art and is like a creative form of expression or whatever. That like if the subject of what you're filming or what you're putting together in this video that is an art form happens to be the process of a piece of art that you're making, then that is what it is. But I do understand, and I do kind of relate to what they're talking about like, I don't know, when everything is performance, not just the finished artwork. Like, as somebody who vlogs and as somebody who, you know, constantly has to be thinking of like what my next video is going to be, if I'm doing a vlog, because usually my vlogs are like, you know, over the span of a long period of time, whatever I'm doing in my day-to-day, I the question in my mind comes up of like, should I bring my camera? Should I vlog this? How can I, you know, make this interesting for the vlog? What can I do to, you know, make this video entertaining? And that's a performance, you know? So that's just what I'm thinking about as I'm painting this and filming this. But yeah, I don't know. But then like the thought of, you know, all of the beauty, obviously, that there is in sharing and how much people enjoy watching these processes, and how helpful it could be for them. But also I think I'm bad at like hearing something and then regurgitating it. Even in the moment when you're like listening to it, you're like, yeah, that makes so much sense. But then if somebody asks you like, what were they just saying? You're like, But yeah, I think they were touching on like how, I don't know, like as a viewer, seeing somebody else's process or like seeing tons of other artists' process as well as their art, and just like consuming might be detrimental to that they themselves, the viewer, in their process and they're making art, because there's so much more to, I don't know, see and like compare yourself to. And I don't know, you're watching the process, dreaming about doing that process, but that's all that it is. It's hard to take that step to actually do it. It's so easy to just distract yourself and like keep watching what's out there rather than, you know, grabbing the paintbrush yourself. And I fall into that as well, definitely. That's partially, you know, the reason why I'm making this video, is that like I feel like I have been pretty distracted lately, and making this video and filming my process is kind of a thing that is motivating me and holding me accountable to actually sitting down and doing it. And I've talked about this before, I think, but like that's like one of the things that I'm so grateful for in terms of YouTube and all that, because it's a form of like accountability, or it's like a form of motivation that like, if I know I need to make a video, or like I want to make a video, and the video topic is me working on a piece of art, those two things together kind of, you know, build off of each other and support each other. Because the art needs to get done in order for it to be on the video, and the video is there with a watchful eye, pushing along, you know, the doing of the art. So, I don't know, there's pros and cons to the whole, like, process thing. Filming your process and sharing your process and everything being a performance to some extent when that's the case. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now. It is, I think it's been like an hour or something since I started. A couple hours. Yeah. It's currently 10:50. So let's continue on with this painting.
This is something that's saying something. There's a grammar, there's a syntax, it's interacting with everything else. And did it succeed in what it intended to do? You know, what does it say? Is that a valuable thing to say? Could it say it like better, you know? And that's kind of how I think about art, is like, I love that word optimization, and I'm mad that that's been co-opted. Some of these words, value, optimization, I'm like, they're not yours. They're deep, you know? Because, you know, so the way that this is probably the best way to understand how I think of kind of optimization, perfection, is the word cohesion. The way that I kind of define that is that not talking about the art, you know?
Right.
So I think again, it's like the subjectivity is the precondition to access the reality of the art, you know? And when I say talking about art, like, objectively, I just mean like, you know, really, it's actually just like optimization, more cohesion, because I'm a perfectionist. That's the thing, right? So, you know.
Why do people want to fight all this stuff too? And I don't know, this seems like a more modern, and this is probably has a lot to do with social media too, but when you post an opinion about a movie in particular.
All right, log 2. What did I say? What time was it? The first talking thing that I did? I can't remember, but it's 12:36 currently. And yeah, just working away at this thing, filling in the gradients, going very slow. My fucking legs are numb. I went to the gym yesterday and I did legs, so I do squats and deadlifts or whatever on those days. And like, if you've ever picked something up that's heavy and like you can feel a single, like, I don't know what to call that, like string inside of a muscle, and you can feel it straining and like kind of like, as you're like lifting something. I was doing that and then I felt it snap. I felt the tear happening and I'm like, ooh, okay. So I feel like my legs are just kind of recovering from that or whatever, rebuilding that strand or whatever that broke. I don't know how muscles work, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens. So yeah, anyways. Yeah, just as I'm working on this, I've been meaning to chat to you guys about some things. And I've been, you know, wondering when the right time is to talk about it. I'm filming a vlog right now in the same timeline as I'm doing this video right now. So I'm thinking like maybe I'll talk about it on the vlog, but I'm thinking about it right now, so I'm just gonna talk about it right now. I've been thinking a lot about sponsorships. I feel like it's an inevitable thing that, you know, any person who does YouTube, like as they grow, you start to like, it's an expected thing that you do once you hit a certain stage. And like, definitely as I've been growing and my channel has been growing, I've been getting lots of emails about like, hey, we want to send you this, or hey, do you want to partner on this? Do you want to collab on this? We want to sponsor you for this? And I haven't done any yet. I've just been kind of, I don't know, some people that reach out to me, it's like some companies or whatever, I'm like, yeah, maybe that would be a cool collab or whatever, or like a cool thing to incorporate into my videos. But most of them are just like, yeah, no, like that doesn't really make sense for me. But like, I feel like the person that I am, and especially like I've talked at length before about how much I have a distaste for marketing. and a distaste for advertising. And so, like, most of the collabs or sponsorships or whatever are just like the very typical, like, I don't know, 60-second integration that's like, this video is sponsored by blah, and then you talk about the thing. They like give you a script or whatever, things to touch on during that like sponsored segment. And I know that like that's a given, right? Like most videos that you do watch by people who do YouTube as a living, like those sponsored segments are just baked into every video, and it is what it is. Like we've all kind of gotten very used to that at this point. And I know like if I were to start doing those kind of sponsored things, nobody would bat an eye. Like it's expected and fine, and that's the reality of, you know, trying to shift into turning this into a living is like AdSense only pays you so much. And so the way to make actual money is usually by taking sponsorships and pushing products and services for companies. And as I'm sure you can tell, like knowing all of this, knowing that like you guys will be fine with it, knowing that nobody's gonna fucking bat an eye, nobody's gonna judge me for it, it's hard to imagine myself doing that, because like the nature of how I do my videos is so just, it is what it is. Like I say whatever I think. It's very honest. And like if I'm doing a sponsorship segment of like reading off of a script, touching on points that I've literally been told to touch on, I can't imagine myself like doing that comfortably. And there is a level of like expected like professionalism or whatever. I feel like if I take on a sponsorship, I do the sponsor segment, and then I feel icky about it, I feel like I can't talk about how I feel icky about it, because I'm being paid to do it, and I'm doing it, and like I can't talk shit about the thing that I just did a fucking ad read for, you know what I mean? There's so much to say about this. Like I don't even, it's all of these feelings are true, and these concerns are what I'm feeling right now, but it's hard to speak on it because I don't know what I'm gonna do, you know? I don't know if, you know, the next video I'm gonna do a fucking ad read, and then all of what I'm saying here is gonna sound super fucking hypocritical. I don't know. It's such a struggle. Like in my heart, I want to tell myself and I want to say that like I just won't do sponsorships because I don't want to. I will just keep these videos as they are, keep them open and honest, and not fucking, you know, not at the whim, I guess, or not kind of with an asterisk of like a sponsor is watching me right now and I'm doing an ad read for them, so I need to behave in a certain way. I feel like even just doing a video that is sponsored by a company, I feel like I need to perform in a different way than I would if there wasn't a sponsor. Do you know what I mean? Because I want the sponsor to like me. They're paying me. I want them to keep paying me. You know, there's that air. And I can't not think of it in that way. So yeah, I don't know. I've talked to like Brandon about this, and it's like obviously like he wants me to do well. I want me to do well. It would be great to make extra money. It would be great to, you know, have this separate source of income if I did start taking sponsorships, that I could, you know, think or worry less about like my client work, about my actual like freelance work that I do to actually make a living right now. And that being true, I just can't shake this feeling of like dread. Like I feel like once I do, or if I do start doing sponsorships, if I can't figure out a way to do it in a way that's like authentic, or find sponsors, I guess, that like are open to me being open and don't just want me to like read a script for them, And I don't know if companies like that exist. Like, I know that if I take on a sponsorship for a product or a service and I'm being paid for it, they're not going to want me to be critical. And if I am critical about it, if I do some research and if I do find out like certain criticisms about it that I would like to talk about, I can't do that, or they'll pull the sponsorship, right? So it's like, it's a dead end. I don't know. Because the way that I see it, at least like at my size right now, I feel like it'll get harder and harder to resist the temptation of going this side, the bigger that I get and the larger amounts of money that are being offered to me to just say something, it'll be harder to say no to, obviously. But then, like, what's the price, you know? It's easy to, like I said, it's easy to say no to that right now, but who knows? But yeah, what I would like to do and what I'm thinking is maybe like a good option for me, at least for right now, as I see it right now, is I just don't do sponsorships because I don't want to do them and they make me uncomfortable, and just rely on the AdSense, rely on my Patreon, which is huge. I would much rather be like crowdfunded to do what I do and be honest and be paid by you guys and my audience and people who actually care about what I do than companies who just want to, you know, sell their shit. I just have such a distrust for companies. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough doing this, knowing that it's like expected of me to, if I want to turn this into an actual living for myself, it's expected of me to take sponsorships and go that route and quote unquote sell out. And that has such like a negative critical connotation to it. I know, like, nobody sees it that way anymore because we're all so aware of like the systems that be, what you have to do to fucking survive. And if I'm providing something and I gotta make money doing it, that's the way. And definitely, like, when I watch things and people do their little sponsorship blurb or whatever, I don't think twice about it. They gotta make their money. They gotta get their bag or whatever, right? They have to make a living. They have bills to pay. And so do I, but it's I don't know. It's a hard thing to talk about. I don't fucking know. Anyways, wow. Sorry. That was quite the ramble I just did. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking about. That's how I'm feeling. So as I am right now, like, I don't see myself taking sponsorships for a while. Maybe I'll have to come back to this and reevaluate, but for the time being, I'm fine doing my freelance work. I'm fine doing my client work. Patreon has started. Hopefully that, you know, builds itself up and, you know, becomes a larger and larger piece of my income pie or whatever, so that I can focus on this and making my own personal work and whatever else. But we'll see, you know? We'll see how that goes. Why can't companies just be chill? Hey, if you're a chill company and you want to sponsor me and I can literally say anything I want about you, hit me up. Yeah. Okay, hi. Sorry, I'm at my desk now because I got a client thing that came in that's a little bit urgent, so I just need to quickly get this done. But as it does, my brain has continued to think on what I just said, so I have more thoughts. Surprise, surprise. I don't know where to put this mic so that I can, like, work still. 1 second. Yeah, please excuse my little pen noises as I'm working here. But yeah, this is the beauty of like being able to talk shit out with you guys, or just like talk shit out, period. Something about saying things out loud really helps move along a thought and helps me like process things. But yeah, like I'm sitting here thinking like I feel like I'm stuck on an idea that every company is evil and a scam, and every product is bad and there's no value in anything, which is obviously not true. I'm thinking, and I feel like where my dread lies is like, obviously every company is subject to criticism and no company is perfect, but at the same time, I'm not above consumption. Every person is a consumer, same as me, same as you. And while there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, there are, you know, some companies and some products that are better than others. And so maybe the balance with all of this, like down the road or whatever, if a sponsorship opportunity does come my way that I don't feel terrible about, like if it's a company that I actually like / don't hate, or, you know, I use their product and I like it and I don't have very many criticisms to say about it, so much so that it would like bug me to not say those criticisms, or it wouldn't bug me or whatever, you get it, then maybe that's the balance of like, instead of just saying like I'm never going to take a sponsorship and all companies are evil, it's, you know, maybe I'll just keep my standards very high, do my research on, you know, people that do come across my, or companies that do come across my inbox, and only take on the ones that I actually genuinely do have good things to say about. Like, I don't know, as I was thinking, like, Squarespace popped into my mind. That just because, like, it's a common sponsor that I see everywhere, and I use Squarespace. This is not, like, obviously, this is an ad. This is not an ad. I've talked about using Squarespace in lots of my videos because it's what I use, it's what I know. So that's just, like, an example of a sponsorship that I wouldn't feel terrible about taking. Because, A, I use their product and I like it a lot. I recommend it to people without being paid. So that's already a plus. And I haven't heard any, like, truly negative, like, scammy, unethical things about them. So they would, like, pass the vibe check or whatever. So yeah, I guess, like, it all depends. I think I'm just kind of worried of partially, like, if I were to take on a sponsorship by a company and then it turns out that company is, like, I don't know, just, like, completely immoral in character, then, like, I would feel very shitty about that. So, yeah, like I said, I feel like, I don't know if that's, like, a complete end-all be-all, or, like, what I'm saying here is exactly the right thing to do, but it is something that I, you know, as I continue to think, could be a middle ground or, like, a balance that I could feel good about moving forward. So yeah, I don't know. I still don't know. It's still early days, you know. There can be good services, genuinely, like, helpful or of good quality, and there can be good products that people could actually enjoy. So yeah, I don't know. That's my kind of resolution, I guess, that I've kind of come to right here. But I'm still very interested in hearing your guys' opinion on all of this. Because, yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
demonstrated that the Earth orbits the Sun. Stellar parallax was first measured in the 1830s and has only gotten more precise since, and Lagrange point satellites behave the way that they do because we accurately understand how gravity behaves on celestial objects. An understanding that has enabled us to is just not actually true. They massage the data to make it look more significant than it really is, giving the misleading impression that it's a very precise axis else we can see except us. Now, that's exactly what they're trying to imply, but has a cosmically special place in the universe. Okay, first of all, those aren't mutually exclusive. Those are nested subjects. Second, is the movie geocentric? Sorta? Rick's wishy-washy a lot to really sum up about the documentary itself. The A-plot is mostly interviews with a mix of scientists and crackpot religious zealots, while the B-plot is a reasonably accurate animated summary of the development of the soul.
Okay. Hi. My camera's up on my bookshelf over there. I'm just trying to think of, like, I don't know, funny ways to do this. Yeah, okay, so sorry. I apologize for my anxious thoughts kind of hijacking the commentary of this video, but I'll stop that now. Maybe. No promises. Yeah, I've gotten to a point with this painting that I don't know if you can see very well from over there or what's blocking it or whatever. The fish are mostly filled in and complete, which is kind of crazy. For some reason, since I've started this, I've given myself like days where I'm like, okay, I want to paint or whatever, but I've never really, told myself that I was going to spend literally all day, like morning to night, to work on this painting and really like get shit done on it. It would usually just be like stints of me, I don't know, getting the tickle and like working on a couple fish and then calling it good and then putting it away. So it's kind of crazy how fast this has kind of come together so far, because I don't know how many fish ended up being empty before I completed it, but yeah, a lot of fish have been done, and now all of the fish are basically done, and now I can add scales. So that's cool. Sorry, I checked the time and I didn't tell you guys. It's 3:30 right now. So what time did I start? Like 10? So that's pretty good. And I still have like all day basically. So that's fun. Good progress. I'm going to take a break to drink something cold and eat something also, because it's like very hot today, 33 degrees right now, and I'm feeling it. And I think it's the hottest it's gonna be today, so yeah, gonna allow myself this little breaky break and then come back to this and start adding in some of the scale details, which is pretty fun and pretty exciting that once those scales are done, we're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, no. And then we have this like middle sun guy here that we have to do. So it's, still a decent amount to do, honestly, but yeah, good place, good pace.
Harrison knows what women want, and according to Harrison, what women want is cold eggs off a bench.
talked about this much. 50 years now, and a lot can happen in 50 years. So this video will aim to cover those years, all of them. And along the way, I hope the RPG genre might make a little bit more sense. There is a lot that can be learned. I guess a game like Surgeon Simulator, a game about playing the role of a surgeon. Badly, in The Sims, or Street Fighter 6. This role players once wrote, all the world's a stage, and all men and women are merely players.
Okay guys, I'm gonna take a break, but first, I washed my rice and it's in my rice cooker. Listen to my rice cooker. Isn't it cute? Yeah, so it's hot. It's hot and I can feel myself getting a little bit fatigued, a little tired. My brush strokes are getting a little sloppy, which is not good. But yeah, as you can see, I've moved to the table now. I got the sun in the middle done. I'm happy with it. Sorry, I'm just trying to see it from where I am. I'm happy with it. That's good. I thought it was going to take a lot more concentration, a lot more time than it did. So it's nice to have that checked off. And now I'm getting on to the scales. And yeah, the scales are pretty good. It's, you know, it's a little bit more precise than doing the gradients and stuff like that on the fish. So it takes a bit more concentration. And yeah, like I said, I'm a little bit battery running a little low, and the heat is not helping. So I'm gonna wait for my rice to finish. I'm gonna go down to the lower level and maybe play some Red Dead 2. I finished the main storyline, other than the epilogue chapters or whatever, and I feel empty. I kind of want to go back to like an older save and, you know, keep playing, but, or, you know, keep playing the main storyline or whatever, all the side quests that I missed, or side missions. So yeah, gonna take a break and do that, and then, when my rice is ready, I'm gonna eat dinner, and then hopefully be feeling re-energized and ready to get back into doing these motherfucking scales. So, yes. Alrighty. 9:35 p.m. Clocking it. And I think I'm gonna stop here for the night. I took a decent break, ate some dinner, felt a little slow and lethargic after, as I do. I watched an episode of Love Island, you know. That's how it goes. But yeah, got some good progress on the scales. Feeling good about that. I feel like it's all kind of, you know, coming together a lot faster than I thought it would, and especially like doing the scales and stuff like that. And I have no doubt in my mind that I will be able to wrap up, well, I don't know, actually. Looking at all the scales now, it does look like a lot of scales, but I should be pretty much free tomorrow to work on this. So yeah, I don't want to put doubts in my own mind. I'll finish this tomorrow. I'll do my darndest. Really do be coming together. And then I think after the scales, I'm going to hang it back up here, take another big look at it, maybe like chill for a little bit. So maybe I won't be like done by the end of this video, but it feels good to have it finally coming to a close and getting this thing wrapped up, or pretty darn close to. So yeah, that is the day today. See you guys tomorrow in the morning. We'll do some more. All right. Okay, hi. Hi, good morning. Yeah, so it's the next day, Saturday morning, and getting some good progress straight away on this guy. Yeah, like I said last night, I just have scaling to do. I just realized that there's a bunch of like line detailing on the gills that I did on a bunch of fish, so I'm gonna have to fill that in again, or fill that in on the rest of the fish that I finish. But yeah, the steps are gonna be finish the scales first, then do all the gills. I might hang it back up to do the gills, and then I'll kind of back away and take a look at everything as it's hung up again, and then maybe, you know, add little extra bits of detailing or edit some of the gradation or whatever on some of the fish wherever I feel like it needs some touch-ups or whatever. And then, yeah, that's it after that. And I'm done after that. Which is kind of wild. But yeah, how are you guys? Hope you're doing well. I'm good. I'm pretty good today. Yeah, I feel like my last video, was so, you know, I don't know if you saw it, like I went on and on about the things that I was struggling with and anxieties and like all these other issues that was kind of bogging down my mind. But yeah, once that went out into the world, I felt a certain amount of lightness, and since then, I don't know, things have been feeling pretty good. And this morning, I feel like partially because yesterday I got so much done on this painting and I'm feeling good about myself, things are kind of starting to come together. I feel optimistic about the next couple of weeks in terms of like work things that I need to do, as well as my Patreon stuff is all on track. Yeah, I feel like I'm in a good place. And so I just wanted to touch on that because I feel like I always, like on the vlogs, I like voice when I'm not doing well. And then so I feel like if you're just like a viewer and you're watching me go on about, you know, the things that I'm struggling with, it might come across as like I'm always just like struggling. And like, to be fair, yes, often I am struggling and overthinking and all of that stuff, and like I'm an anxious being or whatever, but in this moment and in this general, you know, this week, I guess. This week I'm doing well. We'll see about next week. But yeah, let's continue on this painting. So I finished all the scales. Let me just clip this bad boy on. So yeah, holy moly, my shoulders are sore. Okay. My neck, also sore. Okay. But yeah. Wow. Kinda wild. Kinda crazy. Feels good to look at this and it be at this stage. Holy moly, if you squint, it's done. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna put this back up here, so bear with me a second. Oh my god. Bro. What the fuck? I'm struggling. Very nice. That feels good. It's starting to get hot. I don't know if you can tell. The hotter it gets throughout the day, the less energy I have, obviously. and it's supposed to be a little bit hotter than it was yesterday. So as the temperatures are rising, I think I'm going to take a bit of a break. I have a bit of other stuff that I can work on, that I'm probably going to go down there and work on it, just because it's cooler down there. And then I think I will go ahead and attempt this final step of the painting to finish off those final touches and get the gills in. Once the sun gets a little lower and it's starting to cool down again. So, yeah, but holy moly. Definitely a good checkpoint that we've come to here. Okay. Holy moly, it's hot. Yeah, I took a little break. I took a little second to eat some lunch or whatever, and then I thought, it's not that hot. It's actually pretty okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off. And now that I have, I'm sweating. But yeah. I filled in the fish gills. I feel like, I don't know, for any other touch-ups, if any, I'm going to kind of like chill with this for a bit. My friend doesn't need this physically for like another month and a bit, probably. And there are some things that I want to do to it to get it all framed up and stuff like that. I want to get some like wood bars, I guess, for the top and bottom, so that it can be hung and kind of more structured. So when I do that, that'll probably exist on a future vlog or something. So yeah, but for the most part, for all intents and purposes, she's basically done. That's wild. I'm kind of just like processing right now that I finished. After dragging this on for so long, I dedicated a weekend to finish it, and I did. That's kind of cool. I'm very proud of it. I think it looks great. Yeah, wow. I'm kind of like shocked. I feel like it should have been more of a struggle, but something that I've been trying to tell myself lately is that like things, not saying that this was easy at all. It took a long time for sure, no doubt. It took a lot of concentration and hours, but yeah, something that I'm trying to remind myself lately is a piece of art doesn't have to be hard for it to be good. Like I don't have to be like completely drained by the end of it. It doesn't need to be like this crazy challenge every single time for it to be worth making or for it to be like a good piece of art or whatever. I feel like that's something that I struggle with a lot. Like when I jump into something, it's like a huge ambitious project, and I feel like it needs to be ambitious in order for it to be good. And this definitely was ambitious, just like the size of it and the detail and all the little steps that I had to take to get it over the finish line. But yeah, now that it's done, it's kind of surreal since it was such a process. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of the video. This is all wrapped up. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my weekend. I'm filming another vlog kind of in the middle of doing all of this. I think I mentioned that a couple times. So you can look forward to that next, I think. where I continue on, you know, doing my little things, doing new Patreon art for next month. Gotta get that wrapped up and yada yada yada. You know how it goes. So yeah, thank you so very.
I'm not sure.
Oh my god, that scared the fuck out of me. Sorry, it was my I don't want to say her name so I don't wake up your guys's, my Amazon person lady. Lost my train of thought. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you did all the way to the end, let me know what you thought of this video, if you like this kind of style. I intentionally wanted to make this like very kind of unedited and, I don't know, vibey, but like not really, you know? Not vibey through the edit, but vibey through the footage and just like it being very raw. I was having this conversation with my sister the other day because she just started making YouTube videos. Go check her out if you want to. It'll be in the cards. But she was saying that like with her videos, she does like very, very minimal editing, like especially with the way that she talks and everything. And I feel like that has a certain charm to it for sure. But I've gotten so used to cutting up my speech in a way that like I literally edit out all of the ums and the ahs and the pauses, and you know, so that like the way that I'm speaking, there's no room, I guess, for anybody to get bored and click away. So I don't know, with this video, I don't know, I haven't edited it yet, but I'm now declaring that it's going to be a very, or a more, or a less edited type of video. So let me know what you guys think of it. If it was fine and I can keep doing that, or if it sucked and I should go back to my normal editing. I'm sure like all of you guys will be fine with it. But yeah, it was definitely a different vibe, I feel like, is what I'm trying to go for here. So yes, that's all. This is the end of the video, and this is the part where I get to thank my patrons. Woo! Shout out to my patrons. Hell yeah, look at all of them. Aren't they so great? Look at that one, and that one, and all of them. Wow. Look at all of these amazing, beautiful people. Thank you so much for your guys' support. It means so much to me. If you guys want to check out my Patreon, if you're not already a patron, you can do so at Leechuts or whatever on Patreon. It'll be linked wherever in the whatever. So yeah. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. And goodbye. See you in the next one. See you in a bit. That's what I say usually. See y'all in a bit. Okay, bye.